Okay. Hi, we're starting the Ignite developer call. It looks like we're just going to have a small intimate session with Chanwit and I today. But this is recorded for future posterity since we're discussing some release topics. And yeah, if we have anybody else join, they can potentially introduce themselves and or talk about their concerns. But our meeting agenda to doc today does have a few items. So let's pull that up. Here we go. This. Present. Cool. So hopefully we can see here. And then our agenda notes.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Take that so here we are for 053. So
yeah,
this was a little bit something that we weren't aware of, but basically people are asking for Ignite version to be a little bit more introspectable, and we didn't realize that this was blocking some internal Weaveworks work. And so we're just going to do a release. It's a very small change. Chanwit opened up this PR. I think it's fourth change 430. And
it's 430, right?
Yeah, the patch is very small. This looks good to me at a high level, and we tagged it in the 053 milestone. Here, I'm going to create a release issue for this. I accidentally created a release milestone and deleted it. So there's this issue right here.
Yeah,
I see. Cool. And then this looks good to me for the release branch. So we'll cut a release for that later. And then I just tried this out locally. So that was the 5
okay
release here. Yeah.
No, you should you shouldn't use sudo because
I was checking both. So
okay.
And then the run command is functioning with sudo, right? But then like not running without it. Yeah. So that the gating is still working there. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Nice catch though. And then we had a bit more here. So for the patch releases, there's really not much to do because we don't have to update much. But I was going to make a release issue anyway, because that's one of the first things that's there in the document. And just looking at Lucas and Dennis had a bit of a pattern here of just linking to the previous one. So that's 379. Yeah. And then we don't have to really do this installation MD bit. There's no need to upgrade across a patch version, and it's a very small change set, so we just don't have to do that. And there's no real doc updates or roadmap stuff.
No.
And we're just going to do the 053 milestone, and this is release, the 053.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll get ready to do that later. Back to our agenda. So that's what we're putting in there. It's just a super small patch that makes 05 a little bit more usable. This 061 release is pretty massive because it's really just a continuation of what really should have been done in 060.
Right.
There are quite a few patches here. The only thing I wanted to bring up in reviews, I know we've just like talked a lot about splitting PRs up, but the this one is looking good. I was going to get ready to test and merge this. Thanks for implementing
Okay.
changes, by the way.
Uh-huh.
They look really, really solid.
Uh-huh.
This one's a DHCP DNS implementation. I think this is a fine feature to stand on its own, but we should discuss what place it has versus the container DNS stuff that I'm about to push. The forward rules thing, this has the default DNS implementation. I understand why you put it in here, but these really are two features.
We like me to split this too? I mean, into two
I think
different.
I think once you see, unfortunately, the patch that I'm pushing, it's really huge, and like I need to write some more tests, but I can push it up if you'd like to read the code. But it does basically a more sophisticated version of this, which honestly might be a bad thing. But I just wrote it to mimic the Docker behavior without having
Mm-hmm.
to vendor in libnetwork. Because I tried out first by vendoring in libnetwork so we could just use all of the Docker code for the DNS heuristics and
I
the
see.
resolve conf construction and that kind of thing.
That's gonna be good. So I can
But
rework
when
on this by remove the DNS part from this.
yeah, I mean, I like how simple this is. I would like you to criticize what I'm pushing,
Okay.
or the patch I put up because it's not simple, which I don't like. Um, but the reason that I wrote it is because I didn't want to vendor in all of the libnetwork dependencies, which include things like BoltDB and all that, which we're not going to be using.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's that. Uh, but
Okay.
I have tested the side effects of this just locally on my machine, and it seems to work. The IP table stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
this totally.
Yeah. This one. I saw some implementation later. I mean, in on the CNI plugin repository,
Yeah.
and is said they said something like this, and then and later it's become the CNI plugin something at firewall or something. I forgot the name. CNI firewall plugin. Yeah, and but I think it's more simpler to just have these line these three lines in this implemented directly in this code, and then I did test and double check with what should appear in the IP tables. It looks similar to what Docker did, and also it looks similar to what VibNet did. So I think I got some more confident that it's going to be okay. Some kind of.
Okay. Yeah. If you have some links to where you were comparing other implementations, that would
Yeah.
be.
Oh yeah. Okay. I should post it. So basically, after this, I should split. I should refactor this PR to be two separated PRs, so you can review it again.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably just drop the DNS portion of this patch,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which is just like these lines right here, and then we can get this in, and then
Okay.
the what am I saying? Yeah, the only thing I have about this that I'm not sure about is I need to trace when we call initialize, because we check to make sure that if there is an existing CNI configuration
Mm-hmm.
right here, and okay, and here's the early return. So we can short circuit this function, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make sure like that we continue supporting somebody else using like WeaveNet or something, right? Which is going to set up its own routing. Like this is all default Ignite behavior if somebody doesn't want to set up their own CNI, but they should be able to if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can just test that that works, like with Calico or Weave, and see that we can use like a pod network or something, and it'll still function. But, do you think we could write an end-to-end test for that?
You
Like,
want some what?
do you think we could write an end-to-end test for an external?
For this? Is it? I mean, your E2E code test is that enough for verify this?
That verifies that what we are doing by default works. I'm just thinking about writing a test that installs like Weave or Calico or like some other CNI provider that's not the Ignite.
Oh, you
default.
mean to support multiple, right? I think that's gonna be a bit big work. I mean, we should do that in 07, I think, because now the use case of Ignite it is gonna be, I mean, directly support like a single machines at the moment. I mean the to align with other projects. They're still using Ignite for simple use case like only one machine. So we can do it later, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have IP forwarding enabled and you use a different subnet on each,
that and you said it's going to be the breaking the current behavior. So I think I should leave it there. Yeah, because if I change that, what I need to do is I have to clean up the CNI device, CNIO device, and start over everything. If someone already have that CNI device on the machine, is gonna break.
Yeah, so I see you.
So I go back to
default here.
So just leave it there.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah.
But we can try it later.
Okay. That makes sense. I actually didn't even notice you removed the default from this patch, so that makes sense. Thanks for bringing it up. Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, those are really the big things coming in 06, because we already merged a bunch of things that are going to be released with regard to Containerd just working.
Yeah. So we can confirm that the status of Containerd in that's going to be in 061 is going to be stable thanks to your works, and then we now got the idea why the CNI plugin, the CNI bridge plugin not working. So we know that we're missing the IP table stuff, and we're missing the default DNS setting, and we already have that. Then the DNS option is going to be very, it's very preliminary, because actually we need some more feature like DNS option, and also the domain name.
The search domain.
The search domain, that one.
Yeah.
To be similar to what Docker have. So basically, that's what it needs to be after we got this flag implemented.
Dislike these things. Yeah. The libnetwork resolve conf package has a similar structure that definitely inspires some of this code, but there's this override function here that operates on this options struct. This is in the containerd package right now, or inside of the runtime containerd. This is going to be what part of the proposal is. So here you can see we're working on data that's passed in, and then constantly mutating it. So this has to reset data here because regex functions inside of Go, they perform a copy operation. So, and then yeah, basically here it says, okay, well, like if there was name servers in the DNS options, then whatever resolve conf is there, just match all of the name server lines, remove them, and then construct overrides and append them. So, and then the same thing is for like the search
and options. Oh, so, wow, you got everything in place. That's really good. And after we and if we continue from this, I think we can implement the complete DNS support.
So this is for the resolve conf inside of the container, which is great. But we have DHCP bridging the container. So the resolve conf influences DHCPD, I believe.
Yes.
Are we running DHCPD inside of the container, or do we have a Go?
Now we have running the Ignite Spawn, which is start the embedded, that one.
Okay, here it is.
Line 43. So this is what they're doing, and after the VM start, VM get into this DHCP defense, then they got the they got this one. Yeah.
This one. And, oh, okay. See, so this does a client config from file.
Right. So basically, if you put the resolve.conf into the container,
then it configures the DHCP.
Yeah, you get this done.
And so this also does search domains and things like that?
I checked with.
I guess
they're still missing. You see, on line 43, they're still missing another 2 line of setting. In I think it should be. I think there should be something like. Could you scroll down a bit? To find the set method, set server method.
This is doing quite a bit of parsing here.
Yeah. Just pass the pass the container result config into the construct, into a struct, then passing the struct into the DHCP interface, and just done.
And there's actually a lot more config options in here supported than.
We can just ignore it.
Yeah.
We I think it's just it's working as expected at the moment. Could you back to where is that?
This is inside of the DNS dependency that is being used by the DHCP library.
Could you get back to that this? Okay, we need we need 2 more lines after 43. 43.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
we need 2 more lines. I think it's gonna be the
is this our
interface? Yes.
The DHCP interface.
Yeah, and then could you jump to the set DNS server method, that one? Okay, we could see what's going to be. Yeah, we can just mimic this for options and search, and then we done.
I am a little perplexed. Okay, client config. We have this client config loaded, and then DHCP interface is of type DHCP interface, which is here.
Right.
So I see. And so we only did DNS servers, and we loaded that from the client config.
Yeah, and we can just add 2 or 3 more about, I don't know, search in.
And then we have the serve DHCP function, which has all of these options. And this is the library. Okay. So translating into this struct, we only have the servers, but if we were to look here, there's probably a bunch.
We can add something more, and we're done.
Oh, these libraries are very complete, but our usage of them is very thin so far. So. Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I can see about plumbing that in. So it definitely makes sense to do. And I mean, it's like on my domain, right? My router pushes a domain via DHCP to my computer. So it'd be cool if my Ignite VMs can use that kind of stuff. So
I stuck with this as well because my my domain, they're not allowed to just 8.8.8.8, I mean Google name server to solve.
Yeah.
So I have to use another one, and I can't get to VMworks because then there's no way to pass a DNS option in.
Yeah.
So that's
that should be fixed with this kind of a solution. Basically, we first ensure resolve conf, which is called then from the containerd client. Where is that? So
the
dynamic.
The quick
solution
question is that no question, no solution, sorry. This is we really need to write down this file, I mean, onto the file system before binding it. Can we do it something like in memory? Just I don't know. Is I feel that my implementation as well, that we write the resolve our version of resolve config
Hmm.
on the host file system, right? Then we
Yeah.
bind it into the container. But I feel that I don't like that. I mean, in my case, in my implementation, in my PR too.
Yeah.
So, do we
It's
have
what
a alternative way to fix this, like in memory, or I don't know?
it's what Docker does. So
Oh, really?
Docker writes a resolve conf not just for Docker, but for every Docker container. So
Inside, also inside the valid Docker or something.
yes, yeah, it's inside of our libdocker. It's put into the container rootfs.
Oh, okay. So this makes sense. This makes sense. Then, so we can just follow that.
But so the only thing that I ran into there is run container does not take a VM ID, and it doesn't have like a VM spec or like show where basically like I can't get this path right from run container, so we'd have to change the signature of this interface.
Of the function.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because right now it only asks for like for this, right? So it asks for the name with the prefix on it, and I don't want to write code that goes back. Right? So
I agree.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's I'm kind of unsure where this should really go, because we could also do it instead inside of start. And this is
No. It should be inside the create, I think.
You think that the resolve conf stuff should be handled by the container runtime?
Inside the container create, not container run, but I'm not sure where is it.
Run container, I think, is what. There's prepare container spec, but then the container spec is passed to
compare with Docker. I mean, just compare by the life cycle of a container. When we passing the DNS and DNS option and DNS search is gonna become a part of the VM spec.
Yeah.
I mean, what I have tried is that when I passing DNS, it should be. I mean, I don't know. In V1 Alpha 3, for example, we need to have another field in the struct.
Yeah.
To have that DNS option and search.
Yeah.
Then the best place I think for this is to be inside the create container. So I mean create VM. So but I'm not sure where's the best place in the
I do have a question for you. So one of the things that I don't like about this in containerd client is when I call ensure resolve conf, the path is dynamic.
What does it mean, the dynamic? You mean?
And that's because
be locally to a VM.
You first read the etc resolve conf and then the systemd location. If the etc resolve conf indicates that it's probably systemd, then you go to that file. And if either of these files does not have to be changed, then we can just use it.
Then?
But if they do require changes, right? If the user is pressing overrides, or it's not usable, or there's local name servers in here that need to be filtered out, then we fall through to this logic where then we build the resolve conf and write it to the file system.
So you're feeling that it's too dynamic?
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of wondering if we should just always write it to the same place. The reason why I liked being able to use the resolve conf from the system is because if systemd resolved notices that our upstream DHCP servers have changed because networking informed it that my Wi-Fi is different, right? Then it's going to update the stubbed resolve conf example, and then that should propagate to the VM at some point. Except that won't happen because we never would reconfig our DHCP server.
Yeah, so I like that too. Yeah,
this would need to inotify on the resolve conf inside of the container in order for that to even work.
I don't think the so if let me think. I got the feeling that the HTTP server, because it work only once, right?
Yeah.
So when things change outside, we still got the old copy of.
Yeah. So it almost doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. But I don't know. It's going to be a bug or a feature. I don't know. It depends on the point of view. That when the system DNS change, then we still stuck. Then we need to restart the VM. That's another problem. Okay. So what's your opinion on
I'm also wondering if DHCP is necessary.
This one?
Can't we just copy a resolve conf into the rootfs?
I think we need to understand more a bit why we have this in the first place.
Yeah. Because like we are the ones who set up the block device to be started.
And you think we can just do it in the same way we're doing for container?
Yeah.
Just bind it directly and it's done.
It's not a bind. We'd be copying. Yeah.
We just copying
or writing a custom version of a resolve conf into the block device all the time, right?
I think we need to ask Lucas on this, or why DHCP server needs here. If
I'm guessing. Oh, it configures other things though. Like it's not just the DNS.
Oh yeah. It's Yeah, I
It's
saw this here. Right. Yeah.
giving the
Just
container its IP address. So and
the
there's
gateway things. Yeah. So
and
what
it's
so
pretty distro agnostic because network configuration you can do it at the kernel command line. That's the most agnostic thing. But most Linux VMs are going to be able to get their network information from DHCP.
so you mean we're gonna remove only the DNS path from this DHCP server, and then we just doing that by copying, and it's gonna be better.
It's something we could do, but I don't think we should. It's something we should think about.
Yeah, I think we could try. We could try.
So I think what I'm really kind of feeling is I'm just trying to think about a user who's like debugging, right? Because if the files are dynamic and like it's not well documented, the behavior, then
I agree.
Yeah, like
it's like a mystery. Where it's come from?
Yeah, where did this come from? Why is it there? Why is this here but it's not being used?
Yeah, yeah. This really makes sense because when we're saying that it's going to be like container, but it's VM. User got the impression that it's just the same mechanism of what container does. Really, yes. Okay, we can.
So we can always write the file for the containerd implementation to a special place. And then should each VM get its own copy?
Let me think. Yeah. I think this should local to the VM. Yeah.
So probably then storing it in varlib firecracker VM ID.
Right.
Putting
somewhere here. Yeah.
Runtime.containerd.resolve.conf here.
Yeah. Good name.
And then that should probably be good. Is there some metadata JSON here? Does this have the runtime stored in it?
It's manifest.
I don't like that I can't tell what runtime a VM is running under. I think we should add that, or remove.
Definitely yes. Yeah. This frustrating. Yeah. This annoying me as well. Yeah. Definitely yes.
Right. Like. Okay. We've got some work to do, for sure. Okay, and then somebody's actually joined our call at some point. So that might just be Mark Ram, if I'm not mistaken. Cool. What am I doing? I'm not even thinking clearly. Okay. We'll get the 053 release tagged and pushed, and then let's get some of these 06 patches in. I'll get the DNS stuff up so that you can review it.
Yeah, I reworked on the PR. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we should be pretty close. We're gonna have a lot of Docker updates to do. But yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I think it's okay at the moment because we need to make sure that both 053 and 061 working fine with other projects using it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what we. I think that's one of my concern, that both version that we're gonna publish this week, they must be working fine with other projects.
Yeah. I think we can get 053 out like right now. I don't see a problem with anyone using it, and then ideally we should be able to release 061 and people should be able to use it instead of 053. So
yeah, but we I think I realized this a bit late because I just noticed that they're gonna do some big release tomorrow, so we going by of 053 at the moment.
Okay, cool. Let's get it out then. Thanks for all the work, Chanwei, especially over the weekend. That was you did a lot of work. Yeah, I'll of course be available via the normal means, and let's get this stuff merged. Otherwise, I think we can probably stop recording this. Unfortunately, we didn't have any community members join today, but we can change that after our release. We can do some PR for the project. And I'll see you later. Thank you.
Yeah, see you later. Thank you for your time.